Maybe this makes the quality better. If you still can't hear me, Carolina, then it's all you. Good. I look forward to diving in here. Let's see who else is going to join us live. Hi, Melanie. Beautiful to have you here. How are you doing today? So, for all those of you who haven't watched the first 5 sessions in this series, you have them all here in our circle. So just type into the search function whichever chakra you are interested in. Best obviously is if you start with the root chakra. So you have all the info and assessment sessions for you right here. Now let's start with a little introduction to the chakra system for those of you who haven't watched the first 5 episodes of this series. Good. So we have 7 main chakras located along the spine, starting at the base and going up all the way to the crown of the head. And the chakras are energy centers, and they circulate our life energy, which we call prana in yoga, throughout the body. Now, all the negative experiences in our lives can change the energy flow of the chakras, and so over time we end up with unbalanced chakras. So some of them will be underactive, others will be overactive, and both underactive and overactive is not good, basically, because that will cause us new problems in turn on the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, the financial levels, and in our relationships too. So our goal really is to balance all the chakras so that our energy can flow smoothly from the lowest at the base of the spine all the way up to the highest one at the crown of the head. So far we've covered the root chakra, which is responsible for our physical health, our feeling of safety and our finances. Then the sacral chakra, responsible for our sexuality, our sensuality, our self-enjoyment and our womanhood. Our navel chakra, which is all about our personal power and aligned action. Our heart chakra, which is responsible for our self-love and our relationships. And the throat chakra, which is our key to self-expression. Now the third eye chakra is our 6th chakra. It's also called Anya chakra in Sanskrit, which means to perceive. It is located between and slightly above the eyebrows, and it is the home of our intuition, of our insight. It's where we open to what we call our 6th sense. So the third eye is responsible for how we perceive our reality, and it is the link between the inner and the outer. It's like our deeper mind. It is what allows us to connect to our inner knowing and dismantle the illusions that we ourselves create by giving a false meaning to what we see in the world. And the third eye chakra is what we need to see the world clearly. A balanced third eye chakra is the key to that, without the projections that stem from our wounds, and to understand what we see through the wisdom that we access from within. And this is also the chakra from which we are able to visualize, to use our imagination to see our best life unfolding for ourselves in the near future. And once we clearly see what we want, it's easy to manifest it into our lives. So the third eye chakra is also responsible for logical thinking and for focus. And the color associated with it is purple, hence this beautiful blazer from the 80s. Good, that was a short introduction. Any questions so far? Not seeing any questions coming up at the moment. It's also not many of you online, so everybody who's here, can you please invite everybody else along? Everybody who you're friends with, you can invite them. That would be amazing, because I can't do that myself in the new live producer, unfortunately. Good, and while you do that, I would love to start our little self-assessment to find out whether your third eye chakra is over or underactive, because that's the unfortunate truth that hardly anybody has all of their chakras balanced. If we would, then we would absolutely experience what we call enlightenment. So being incarnated in our bodies, but at the same time clearly experiencing the upper realms, so to say. So most of us still have to work a little bit on that. So let's start with what it looks like when your third eye chakra is not active enough, when it's underactive. Okay? So you might find it difficult to see the bigger picture of your life if your third eye chakra is underactive. So you might lack vision for your life. Not all of these have to be true for you, okay? So if you recognize yourself in some of them, then it's probable that you have an underactive chakra here. You might struggle to see solutions or new ways of doing things in your life. You might find it hard to imagine your life being any different than it is now. You might find it difficult to get clarity around what you want. You might struggle to get in touch with your intuition. You might feel like you mostly live in your 3D reality and might have difficulties perceiving the unseen worlds. You might even be afraid of the unknown. You might also hold a lot of tension in your facial muscles and feel tense. You might find it hard to concentrate and focus and feel dull. And you might struggle with self-reflection, with seeing yourself clearly. So who can relate to what I just said? Who feels spoken to here? Seems like nobody could hear me before. That's weird. I'm glad it works now. So anybody in the session with an underactive third eye chakra? This is often what people will experience at the start of their spiritual journey. It can be frustrating sometimes. We feel like we're trying to perceive things, but we can't really seem to. So if this is you, your first key here is to practice meditating, to open your inner eye. I have shared quite a few practices with you in the circle, and this is also a major focus in the transformation where I teach you shamanic journeying, because meditating means calming the mind and opening up our higher senses so that we just know what's real. We perceive more than the 3D, and we also know what's next. It's crystal clear, I have developed shamanic meditations because I used to really struggle a lot with classical meditation, with just focusing on the body and the breath and relaxing in that way. So who knows what I'm talking about here? Like, especially if you have trouble focusing, then classical meditation can be really trying. But when you add the drum, it instantly pulls you into this blanket of safety. It makes you relaxed and feel connected. So it gets so much easier to let go of tension, open up our intuition and imagination. Melanie is saying you have trouble with tapping into your intuition and seeing yourself clearly. Yeah, so you're in the apprenticeship, so you're going to learn how to do this step by step. It's going to be really easy soon enough. Natalia, you're saying you had it blocked when you were on your way to burnout and after, but you think you're okay now. That's good. It's amazing that you made it out of that. So if your third eye chakra is underactive, the second key is to practice visualization. It's closely related. So once you've learned how to calm your mind, you can now start training yourself to get clear on what you want and then picture it clearly. And if you have trouble focusing, then you could start this in a really simple way by just thinking about your life in terms of categories to create focus first and then concentrate on each area in turn. So let's use me as my example. So in my life, I have me, that is my body, my mind, my emotions, in the center as the central piece, and then grouped around I have the biggest, most important areas of my life, which is my spiritual life, my love life, my life as a mother, and my home. So to practice focus and vision, I could pick the area of those that needs working on the most, which would probably be actually my home situation at the moment, since I've got it all figured out with moving to Bali, but now Corona is sort of trying to get in my way, but I won't let it. But let's use an easier example because this is complex. So let's say I want to focus on my love life. Then I could picture how I ideally want it. I could see, the clear, loving communication, the physical attraction, the expansive lovemaking, the feeling of being understood, the plans for the future, the commitment. So I would just look for a picture that combines some of these, or whatever is most important for me, or a series of pictures. And I recommend that you start and end your day with a little visualization practice like that. My transformation members, you have my visualization practice at the ready to practice with. Good. So I hope this was helpful so far. Melanie, you're saying the drum definitely helps in meditation. Yeah, it makes it so much easier to just calm the mind because we're sort of passing the mind, where we don't need to focus on calming our mind because the drum just takes the thoughts away, which is just amazing. So let's focus on what it looks like when your third eye chakra is overactive, okay? If this is the case for you, then you might have lots of visions, but you might struggle to hold onto them until you manifest them because new visions keep coming in. Your visions might also be very vivid, and you might take them more seriously than everything in the 3D world. You might have difficulties concentrating and focusing on all things 3D. It might seem just really tedious and unimportant. You might find yourself disconnected from your 3D reality and uninterested in all worldly affairs and even people. You might feel ungrounded and live more in the unseen worlds than in the earthly plane. You might have a very busy mind and feel mentally exhausted. You might be judgmental, you might be anxious, you might be underweight, you might struggle financially. Those can all be signs of an overactive third eye chakra. Obviously, not all of them have to be true. So who feels spoken to here? I'm not seeing any comments coming up yet. I think technology is not my friend today. Sometimes it happens that there's a real lag. Or are you not sharing with me, beauties? So this was definitely me before I got pregnant. My third eye chakra was really, really overactive, which was not very good. I just became very disinterested in all earthly things and just felt like I was already floating off to another plane of existence, which resulted in lots of near-death experiences. And it resulted in me not eating anymore, and it felt quite blissful actually, but not very helpful if you want to keep your body. So if this is you, then you need grounding. Most important thing, okay? You need to do grounding practices that connect you to the physical plane so that you can feel safe, embodied, real in both worlds, you know, the inner and the outer. And I like using shamanic meditations for that, where the beat of the drum reminds us of our mother's heartbeat in the womb. That's, you know, so real, so earthbound. Another wonderful thing is rooting down into the earth. So you can really experiment with this. Best is if you sit outside, obviously. You can sit on the grass, you can lean against the tree, and then you just focus on, you imagine roots growing out of the base of your spine. Just extending your energy downwards, basically, is what this is about. Another amazing thing along those lines that you can do is just, you know, engage with nature. So walk barefoot outside, stand in the rain, lie in the sun, swim in the lake or the ocean, everything that connects you to nature and Mother Earth. And again, closely related, a really beautiful way to ground yourself is to eat things that grow in the ground. So that would be things like potatoes, onions, carrots, beetroots. You get the idea. And of course, moving your body consciously, right? Feeling your body, making, you know, like becoming present with your body, really, you know, starting to feel more embodied, right? So making love, self-pleasuring, dancing, asana, those are all great for anchoring yourself in the physical plane. Cuddling, right? All of those things. And there's also a specific asana that I recommend for an overactive third eye chakra, which is balasana, also known as child pose in English, where you rest on the ground. So you can kneel, and you could also open your knees a little bit to make space for your belly, which is what I like doing. So you can breathe more deeply, and then you place your hands either like this alongside the body, or you can also extend them backwards, really like curling up a little bit. And then you rest your forehand on the ground, and then it's really easy to focus on your third eye. And you know, it's easy to connect to the earth, obviously, because you're on the ground as well. And then what you do is you simply breathe and you focus on seeing your third eye chakra, this ball of purple light right in between your eyebrows. And you see it glowing evenly, right? So in the beginning of the practice, if your third eye chakra is very overactive, you might perceive it as really aggressively, like almost burning. And you know, it's a wheel of energy, so you might see it turning really fast. And your goal, so to say, is just to release some of that energy and then visualize it as just glowing evenly. Good, I hope all of this is making sense and helpful. Donna, I do, but wouldn't have thought I'm using my third eye. Part of overthinking and disconnecting to people. What do you mean with using your third eye? It's always like whenever we perceive things that are, you know, beyond the 3D, right? Part of the unseen worlds, or our inner intuition which is where we connect to the inner worlds at any rate. This is all our third eye that enables us to do it. So Natalia, you're saying you're not really able to manifest what you want and you have problems with money. So that could also be a root chakra problem, or it could also be a navel chakra problem, right? So it depends on where the problem really is. All the chakras are connected, so we need to find out where the problem really is. And the best way to ensure that you tackle the problem is to really work through the chakras one by one. So in this example that you were saying, it wouldn't really be related to the third eye unless you have trouble perceiving that vision, right? If you can see clearly what you want, if you know what you want, then it's not a third eye problem. Then it might be a navel chakra problem where you fail to, manifest your vision through aligned action, or it might be a root chakra problem where you just basically don't feel safe here on this earthly plane, and you haven't learned how to like manifest your own energy here in a powerful way, which is what would result in money problems. Hope this makes sense. Good. So whether your third eye chakra is over or underactive, balancing it will help you to receive a clear vision for your life and bring this vision to life. It will heighten your intuition and help you to trust the insights that you receive so that you can expand your wisdom. So you can really become a walker between the worlds. So you will feel intensely alive in the earthly plane, but also in the heavenly plane, through strong roots and wide wings. So who feels like working on the third eye chakra is key for you at this point in your life? Making sense. Thank you. You're welcome, Natalia. Great, it does. Yeah, happy it does. Donnie, you're saying, just didn't think my third eye was open. I do go out in nature and love grounding myself and find I'd sooner be out in nature and away from people. Well, that might just also be a personal tendency that you have. It's not necessarily a sign of an imbalance in your third eye chakra. So you would need more than one of these indications. Good. So if you haven't worked with the other 5 chakras before, it is advisable that you start with the root chakra and then you work your way up, okay? Which will yield in the best results and also avoid your energies like really getting mixed, because sometimes with our healing efforts, if we don't really know how energy works, we can make things work worse. So it's really advisable to start with the base chakra and really follow a coherent plan for how you're going to go about this. I mean, I love working with the chakras so much because whatever problems we have, through the chakra system, we can address them on all levels, right? Because the chakras are at a certain place in the body, so we have that physical access. Then we can focus on it mentally by imagining the color, for example, and visualizing it. And we can connect to it emotionally by, working on the specific issues that are connected to that chakra. And that in turn, when we work with the physical, the mental, and the emotional plane, that in turn activates the spiritual one. So it's really amazing to work with the chakras, whatever problems we have or whatever dreams we're trying to create. So to work with your chakras, you will need a deep healing session for each chakra that is powerful enough to either increase or deblock the energy flow in that chakra for an underactive chakra, or to direct that excess energy upwards into the next chakra for an overactive chakra. And then you will need a short and sweet daily practice after the deep healing to keep that process going, to deepen your chakra, to keep that chakra in balance once you have balanced it with the healing session, until the energy has really stabilized and you're ready to work with the next chakra. So if you want help in doing this, I have a special treat for you today. I'm gifting my complete chakra healing series that is 7 info and assessment sessions like this one, 7 deep healing sessions, whether your chakra is underactive or overactive. So there's actually 14 and you always choose which one you need. And 7 daily practices to all those who join the transformation until tomorrow. The transformation is my 12-week group program where I teach you shamanic journeying, the oldest and most powerful healing and spiritual practice, all while accelerating your healing journey and pampering yourself with beautiful practices for body, mind, heart, and soul. So the way it works is you will have 10 weeks of content where I teach you journeying step by step in a clear and safe and enjoyable way. So you get a 10-minute daily practice and 2 weekly 30-minute practices that you can schedule at your convenience. And then we all come together as a women's circle for a weekly live session on Zoom where you can ask all your questions and share your experiences. And we also have a private group for that, a safe haven off of Facebook in my private network, where you can share and ask questions at any time. So you only need about 3 hours a week to complete this training successfully. And you have 2 weeks of extra time to catch up, repeat, and integrate. So there's no time pressure at all. And the investment is only 1K, and there's an easy 3 months payment plan. So everybody who's just started the apprenticeship is also doing the transformation at the moment, which is the first part of it. So those are 15 women altogether. So it's really the perfect time to start and complete this journey with other soulful, big-hearted women to support and inspire you. And learning shamanic journeying alone is just absolutely priceless. You will be able to use it all your life, every day, to ask questions and receive answers of the highest truth, to really power up with the whole spirit world at your side so you can heal your wounds, create your dreams, and just consciously shape your destiny. So the link is in the description. I'm also going to pop it into the comments for you. All those of you who are in the apprenticeship, the chakra healing series is not what you should be concerned with right now. This is something you can do later on. Right now you just want to focus on becoming a shamanic healer and making money as a healer. So for all those who aren't in the apprenticeship or the transformation yet, this is a really great moment to join the transformation, because like I said, it is the first part of the apprenticeship, which means that you can complete this now and then join us in the apprenticeship later if you want to, for part 2, where you learn how to use shamanic journeying for others as a shamanic healer, and part 3, where you learn how to make a living from your healing work. And it's absolutely optional to join the apprenticeship later on, but if you do, you get a €500 discount on it and can complete part 2 and 3 in just 5 months. So if you join before tomorrow, you get the whole chakra healing series as a free bonus, and the content is going to be yours to keep. So you will be able to go through the whole series or parts of it again and again to upgrade and up-level your energy on demand. So go check it out with the link in the description. And I just want to stress one big difference in the way that I do chakra healing as compared to other yoga teachers. And that's that I include the shamanic elements in it, you know, like the sound of the drum for the trance state. So you can go really deep, right, to the core of the problem, which is the only thing that really makes sense, the only thing that actually changes things big time, as opposed to just, scratch the surface. And through shamanism, we can also go back to the past to heal wounds. We can use the energy of power animals to balance our chakras. We can use sacred spaces like your personal place of power, the stone circle with your tree of life. We can work with the flower of your heart, right? Your heart space. We can use healing caves and other magical places, and much, much more. So this series includes shamanic journeys for the deep healing processes and different kinds of daily practices that range from meditations to breathing practices to dancing and mantra singing, depending on what chakra we work with. And all the music for all the practices was composed exactly for that practice by my dad, which makes it really, really special, very magical. So if you haven't checked it out yet, do so with the link that I gave you. Because like I said, the bonus is only valid until tomorrow. And the reason for that is that I want to encourage you to join now if you already know that you want to. Because then you're going to do it at the same time as so many other women. And that makes the whole journey even more beautiful. Am I still here? It's saying, sorry, we're having trouble playing this video. Am I still here? Can you see me, lovelies? Well, I was at the end anyway. I'm going to end this now before I'm gone. And yeah, hi Charlotte. I hope you can still hear this. Lots of love to all of you, and I hope to welcome many of you into the transformation and enjoy balancing your third eye chakra. Lots of love.